morning, evening, or afternoon, everybody. It's Kaghoe coming at you with another video. So today, I want to do an in-depth breakdown of sort of talking about Ignite and how Ignite works and everything that goes with it. So this is gonna, there's a few what ifs, there's a few things to sort of talk about, but the core concepts of why you should Ignite, how you should do it. One, it really depends on the people you're raiding with. As mages, you sort of have to work together, and it can be very tedious and frustrating if people choose not to. But here are the two things that this sort of depends on: improved Scorch right here, and Ignite. So obviously, if you're a fire mage, you have these two talents. And what improved Scorch does is every time you Scorch, you increase fire damage by 3%. It lasts 30 seconds, and it stacks up to 5 times. So that does increase your Ignite. And now what Ignite does is your critical strikes from fire damage spells cause the target to burn for an additional 40% of your spell's damage over 4 seconds. Now, Ignite stacks up to 5 stacks. And what's really overpowered about that is that you're able to get some really, really fat ignites when everybody is sort of working together. So since there are no training dummies, I've come out here to the burning steps just to sort of show you how this works. So the easiest way, there's 2 ways to do it. Now you can do, if you have 5 mages, that's what most raid comps are going to want to use. That's what my comp uses, and I would highly recommend this. Each mage would do 1 Scorch. And then what you do is, because chances are someone crits, that puts that Ignite up there. So what you want to do is you Frostbolt, and then that Ignite is dropped. And then after that, you would, I guess I can't really get it up to 5 to show you guys without killing it. But if we get it to 5 stacks of Ignite, or 5 stacks of Scorch, that is when you are going to then go to Fireball. Now, this is the highest risk and the highest reward Ignite. If you want, you can do the medium risk, medium reward Ignite, which would be leading with that Scorch, and then you pop all your cooldowns. Mind Quickening Gem, highly recommended, as well as if you get a PI, you want to use that. And what this allows you to do is you would do Scorch, and then so everyone Scorches, we get it to 5. Then we blow our cooldowns, and we can use these fireballs in order to hit very, very fat ones, crits, and stack the Ignite. And so what that does is once you have your 5 stack of Ignite, now here's the tricky part. Once your cooldowns expire, you're going to be shooting them a bit slower, and that can really mess with your Ignite. And the most important thing you want to do is keep that Ignite up there. So if you have a cooldown to Ignite, you want to keep that Ignite rolling, and the way to do that is to get crits. Now, after your cooldowns are gone, and you do have a few with world buffs and things like that, you'll be around 40%. At least that's what I am, and I'm pretty geared. This is where it sort of depends on your raid, as well as the most important thing that you do not want to do is gimp your Ignite. And by gimping it would be meaning casting a Scorch, and your Scorch crits, and you do not let that Ignite drop. That would be the worst thing that you could have happen. And then, so every cooldown Ignite that you're putting in there with those fireballs that can hit really, really high, it's going to be lesser. And that is going to be detrimental to your raid and your mage damage. So the 2 things that are heavily debated for the medium risk, medium reward, and high risk, high reward here when we're talking about Scorching and Igniting and Fireballing is that after you use your cooldown. So this is the start that everyone Scorches once, you let that fall off, then you cooldown Fireball, and now this is the tricky part. So Scorch obviously has a lesser cast time. It is 1.5. So you can get a Scorch, you can get 2 Scorches out per 1 Fireball about. And when you're able to do that, it's really it increases your chances to crit. And more crit chances will allow you to keep your Ignite up. That is where it's this is so, like, it's so close, and I personally would prefer the Scorch way, because the amount of times we've had an Ignite stay up the entire raid and be perfect kind of has dropped. But, you know, I listen to my class leads and officers, and they would prefer going the high risk, high reward, which is fireballing. And so after you've done your rotation, you just sit there and you fireball instead of Scorch. Now, where this can backfire is if no one crits. Like, one of the 5 mages has to crit every time you use fireball. Otherwise, that Ignite will drop, and it's really, really bad if no one crits. And obviously, if you have 5 mages, world buff, pretty gear, you're probably gonna get it, but we've only had very few things sort of happen. And now that is the more of the better way to do it. That's how you can yield the most return on your Ignites. Now the second way to do it is to fireball and then Scorch. So this stops you from gimping your Ignite. So if your raid team keeps gimping your Ignite and you run into this problem, this is the sort of method you can do. You just blow your cooldowns right off the bat and you just start fireballing. And then once you get a fat Ignite up there, then you Scorch. And so the difference there is after you have your 5 Scorches up, you can either switch back to fireballs or you can continue to Scorch. If you just fireball, just Scorch, that gives you that's the highest chance possible to give you a decent Ignite that's not gimped, and it rolls through the entire fight. It's low risk, low reward, and I honestly don't know. We have never tested this method before. What we have sort of done is to change which one we're using based off of the buffs we're doing. One that we've been doing a lot is using all of our cooldowns, fireballing, then using Ignite, and then going back to Fireball because Fireball has more DPS. Or sorry, we go to Scorch to get our 5 seconds, then we Ignite, or then we Fireball. I personally think we should do Scorch, wait for it to drop, cooldowns, high risk, high reward. I think that's the best way. It just takes a lot of practice from your mage core to nail this down, because if you fail at this, it's going to be really, really bad. It gimps your parses so much because you put in a bad Ignite. And I really wish there were training dummies so I can show you guys a lot, like sort of exactly how this works. Something I do want to show you is 2 weak ores that I have. It's Fire Mage right here, which will and Safe Scorch window. So Fire Mage right here shows your combustion and the Scorch stacks. It pops up right here, as you can see. There's my combustion and everything. And then Safe Scorch window is an add-on that it shoots off a horn when I'm in a group with another mage saying, hey, this other mage started to cast Fireball, so be ready for that. But that's pretty much it, guys. That's sort of Ignite works. Those are the ways that you can do it. All 4 methods. We've done all but the low risk, low reward one. And honestly, I don't know. I think you guys should just see what works best with you. Try them all out. See which works best for your mage core and the one that you can get most consistently, because that is the most important thing to do. If you keep messing it up every time you gimp it, any of the other methods would be better. And so that's the trade-off you have. If you notice people keep gimping it and ruining it, then you're just donezo, and it's just not very good for your mage core. Something you can do if you do not have PI or Mind Quickening Gem and the others have it, so while they're doing it, you can hardcast Pyroblast, because if it crits, it's as strong as those cooldown, the cooldown fireballs. And that's just sort of something to keep in mind. If, say, you only get 4 PIs and you have 5 mages and you're not the one that gets that's something you can definitely do. Obviously hardcasting pyro isn't the best thing that someone could do, but here's 7 combustion stacks and we're gonna hardcast. Hopefully we get a crit here, and there you go. Like, that's such a fat hit, and that's without any buffs. And as you see, Ignite's ticking for 512. So that's something you can keep in mind to add to the Ignite stack if you don't have a Mind Quickening gem, you don't have the proper things to get those cooldowns really out there and make an Ignite as fat as you possibly can. But anyway, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, sort of mage things, anything you'd love to know, I'd love to talk about it, sort of help you guys out any way I can. And yeah, I will see you next time, guys, and I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Bye-bye.
If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. It truly means a lot to me. If you happen to find anyone that you know would also benefit from watching this video, please share it with them. It helps me out a ton and allows me to keep doing what I love every single day, and that is gaming and sort of helping people any way that I can. So finally, thank you so much, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Goodbye.